Good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing today? I apologize about not being on yesterday. I wasn't feeling the best and decided it was best to take the day off and plan for today. So as you can see, we're going to do a stream build. Good morning, Ginge. Good morning. Thanks for being here right away. I appreciate it a lot. Thanks so much. Good to hear you're doing well, man. That's awesome. So, yeah, as you can see from the title, we're going to do a stream build setup. This is kind of out of necessity. People have been asking. I've been kind of explaining it. I had like that mirror. It just didn't make any sense. So I figured today we'll take an in-dive depth on my setup, how things look, how everything's wired up. And if we have some time, we'll do all the software as well. And then what I'll do is I'll cut this down into a shorter video in the future. So that way I can just kind of share this around and and use this as needed. So let's get started then. So what we'll do is I'm just going to do everything in Photoshop just to kind of get everything simplified. I think first things first, I will show off what my room looks like right now. So let me just grab a picture. Is this the one here? So that's currently what my desk looks like. So I'll explain everything and then I'll go through and give you a full like in-depth view. So currently this is the microphone you're seeing here. It is the Shure SM7B. This is my gaming monitor, the main one here in the middle, the one I'm looking at currently. It's my main monitor, it's 27 inches. This here is the secondary monitor that I use for when I'm gaming. So I usually have Discord open here, chat, stuff like that. Internet browser, files, anything I need when I'm on this computer. This here is my streaming computer. It's my main monitor for my streaming computer. It's where chat lives, so you guys usually sit right here. I've got YouTube settings here, make sure everything's going smoothly, no copyright streams, nothing like that. And this is a secondary stream monitor, so these two are one computer, and these two here are another computer. This is my secondary stream monitor. I use that for, on the left here, I have Discord open most of the time, so I can see who's in the lobby, who's in the chats. And on the right-hand side, I have Streamlabs open, so I can see if my audio levels are okay. I can see if there's any issues with my display, my camera, stuff like that. On the right-hand side here, I just have a fan mounted. It's just mounted to the monitor mount. You can kind of see it if I go back to the chatting. It's just right here. The room gets rather warm with two computers running, so it's nice to have a fan on some days. Above it, on the left-hand side, sorry, we'll start over here. This is my webcam. It is a Canon 60D. I originally started with the 70D, which is this one here. They're very similar cameras, but the reason I switched to the 60D is because I take the 70D when I go out shooting, if I'm going to take any videos or photography, and it's got better autofocus on the 70D. With the webcam, I have it set to manual focus because I don't move around a lot, so I just have the focus set, so the 60D was fine. They have the same sensor size. And you're limited by the USB wire anyways. Above it is a ring light. It is super bright. I've only got it at like 6% out of 100. It doesn't have any RGB, but it has like a diffuser cover, and you can get different colors if you want. And then on the right, above it here, this is a Manfrotto friction arm. It is a camera mount as well, so sometimes I will have this camera mounted up there, pointing down at the tabletop here, and I'll use that when I'm doing Magic or playing cards with friends online. Like during COVID, it was very hard. I don't really have a use for it in stream. And then this here, these little cables hanging are AC power for the camera, so it never runs out of batteries, and then a USB plug that goes into the computer. And then this is just a ring light, a small little USB ring light. I'm pointing to it in real life, but this here is just filling in the shadow on this wall because without this on, I found that I had a hard shadow here. So it's just like a secondary fill light that I thought made sense. Below here, so what we have here is the Nintendo Switch. I have a custom dock for it, so that way it's a little more open, easier to get access to, easier to pop in and out because there is a monitor above it. I don't have to go into the dock. And then on the back as well, it has more USB ports, which is handy if I ever need to plug anything into it. And the HDMI out is sticking straight out the back versus out the side. So that was kind of the reason for buying that. Right next to it here, this is a Super Nintendo. Again, I don't think I've played Super Nintendo Switch on stream once, but I can turn it on, for example, and I can go like this, and then you can see we're in Super Nintendo mode. So I can play Super Nintendo games, old classic games. I can do the same thing with the Switch. I do have to move the HDMI cable from one to the other because of the limitation on another device that I had, but I don't think I'll be playing both, and it's 2 seconds just to move it over 3 inches there. And then the nice thing actually is that the USB power from this, the USB out, can power this, so I didn't need to run a long USB cable into a dongle or anything. Next to it here is the Stream Deck, which you can kind of see because the cable's quite long. So I use this for switching scenes. I use it for changing the lights in my room. You can see my color background is changing. Depending on the day, sometimes different colors look better. So I kind of like this one today. I use this for sound effects. So you can do like a heartbeat, stuff like that. I also use it for setting up my microphone mute. So if I click this, and it's nice to have a hardware dedicated button for my microphone mute. It's also used for switching all scenes. So every time I do this, and I switch from here to here, or I go here to the Super Nintendo, as you guys just saw, then it's just had to reset it. There we go. It's all used for that kind of thing, so I don't have to change my computer over to a different mouse. I also have music controls and my camera switch here, so I can do this. So it's all just built into this little box, the little Stream Deck. They're super handy. I wish I had a bigger one now. I think that's what I was told when I bought the small one, but it was a learning experience, so I'm happy to have it. If you're ever planning on streaming or even doing editing or anything, this is super handy. I'm going to probably upgrade to a bigger one. They have like a 15 key one, and then put this on the streaming computer for editing, so I could cut clips and stuff. That's not as many features. I'll use it more dedicated for a single use. Let me just grab this here. Right here in the middle, this is a XLR to computer interface. So it takes the microphone input, which is an XLR input. This is a per studio microphone, and it's got a bunch of controls on it. I do have a photo of it. We'll get to it here in a few minutes. And then here is an audio mixer. So all of the computer's audio goes into here. The Nintendo Switch goes into here. Everything goes into here. And then this goes out to my headphones. So the headphones I'm wearing right now. Again, I've got a closer image. We'll jump in a second. This is just an external hard drive. This is my keyboard and my mouse. Here's my cell phone. It's always plugged in, usually charging here. It's not right now because I was doing something. But a lot of the times what I'll do is I'll just leave it charging all day. And the second cable you see plugged into it is also an auxiliary. I can probably zoom in actually. So this is my charging cable, and this is a headphone jack. So that way when it gets mixed in, then I can listen to music, or someone calls me, I can take the phone call on these headphones without having to jump off of the stream. Are you going to be streaming in the summer? Yeah, I'm going to be streaming in the summer. My plan is to hopefully stream all summer. I've got the air conditioning on, but the room still gets a little warm because the AC is for the whole house, so I can't set it to like 15 degrees, and then this room will heat up no matter what. So, but yeah, I plan on streaming through the summer. And then down here in the bottom left is my streaming computer. It is mounted to the underside of the table, and same with the gaming computer here. It's mounted to the underside of the table, and then all the cables are underneath. The specs on your monitors. So these two are the same. They are BenQ GL2460s. They're just basic 1080p monitors. I think they've got like 3 milliseconds response or something. They're nothing crazy. It was an old monitor I used probably 6-7 years ago. But they work great as secondary monitors. They've got good color. They've got good inputs. The one above is a GL2450. So it's the model below these two here. It doesn't have an HDMI and it doesn't have speakers, but I don't use the speakers on either of these, so it's not too bad. The one in the middle is an Asus 2744 Hertz, like the gaming monitor. I believe actually I can click here. It's a VG2780. So we'll go through everything here in a second too, and I'll be putting everything in the description, all the links, anything you could possibly need for viewing the monitors, viewing anything like that. And I'll send you the description. I'll send it to you in chat as well. But what I'll do is I'll make it available to anyone, so anyone wants to see it, they can view everything. On top of all of that, everything is set up is a sit stand desk. So let me actually get some more photos ready here. Where is the... So you can see everything on my desk goes up and down. This is a little video I took yesterday just before ending the day. So you can see everything here is just attached to the bottom of the desk. It all goes up and down. Everything is attached to the desk. The only thing that comes off the desk is a single, like, thick cable. I don't think you can see it. Maybe just on the corner here. But it'll tie everything together. So let me grab this. So there's some more close-ups here. So you can see the Switch, the Super Nintendo, and the Stream Deck all sit on the left-hand side. And then this is the audio interface I was talking about. So what happens is the microphone plugs in here. These two cables go to the streaming computer. So on the left-hand side of my desk, this cable goes to my gaming computer. So I'm using this microphone to talk to stream and to talk in game. And then these are all the controls for the gain, equalizers, your out. And I put a little sticker here that shows gaming and streaming computer. So it was easy to monitor. So if I want to mute myself on the streaming computer, for example, I could just turn this off as well. I could just hear me anymore. But the reason I don't mess with that too much is the button I have works just as well. And that's good for like up and down gain. So if this opens, cancel this one. This is the headphone mixer. So these are different inputs. So this input, I labeled them so I could keep track. Each one has its own volume control, and then there's a max overall volume out. So the first one is my gaming computer. So if I think my game's too quiet, I can turn it up by turning this knob here. If my streaming computer is too quiet, if I don't hear notifications, I don't hear the music, I can turn it up here. The Nintendo Switch is plugged into the monitor. And then if I want to turn the Switch up, I could do that there. And then same with my laptop. I called it my laptop because I originally had a laptop plugged in. But now it's just the extra auxiliary cable that you saw plugged into my phone. So I could probably change that label. And then these two aren't being used, but they're for future expansion. If I ever want to plug in a third computer, or if I get a new audio interface and I want to plug my microphone directly into here and I want to listen to myself when I talk. And then I have the main out. So if everything is good, but it's just all too quiet, I can just turn this up here. This is the webcam. It's nothing too fancy. It's just a Canon 60D. It's mounted with a, what do you call it? It's a small rigs mount. So it's just bolted onto the frame. So it's a 6 monitor frame. I'm only using 4, and I'm using the other 2 arms for different accessories. So as you can see, it's just mounted on the arm there. This is probably a better photo, actually. Let's see here. Yeah, so you can see it's just pinched onto the frame, hung upside down. So actually my camera in OBS is flipped over. Honestly, you need to promote your stream because your stream is good. Not many people can find you. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you for telling me that my stream's good. I appreciate it. I put a lot of work into it. Yeah, it's hard to promote. I'm definitely trying more. I think I was playing a lot of Valorant the last couple weeks because you guys were enjoying it. But when I started streaming, I said I was going to use stream time to make smaller videos. So I'm going to actually take this clip here that we're going to do for the next hour and turn it into a short video about my streaming setup. And then I want to start playing more single player games like Portals and stuff, and I can cut that down into smaller content, kind of have more segments. I think Valorant was super fun and I really enjoyed playing with everyone, but I can't turn that into anything. It's just 3 hours or 4 hours of playing Valorant, and I might get 1 or 2 short videos out of it. So I want to kind of push the content more, and the stream will come along. I hope that makes sense. I hope you stick around. It's going to be fun. I just got to find my bearings there. But my setup's good. I think my setup's clean, and I put a lot of work into it. If you actually go back, I mean, I could probably do it here for you. If you go back and find some of my old original streams, yeah, it does. It makes sense. Quite glad. I'm glad. Let's see here. So if we go to my channel here, all right, just gotta make it cleaner. There we go. So if you go to all of my not liked videos, Here's my past live stream. So this is a public playlist. It's going to go to the video I'm live right now, so I'll pause that. But if you go back to some of the original videos, this is when I was just, before I even built the streaming computer, this is me messing around with all the camera settings, building the desk. So you can see here, I don't know why the quality's so low. You can see here me, this is like wiring the desk. This is me mounting one of the computers underneath. All of these little straps for running cables. So it wasn't super engaging, but I'm glad I have all the footage. So I have two cameras here. I have the underneath desk camera and I had the above camera. See when I'm mounting monitors and stuff. So this is kind of before I even started gaming or streaming. What else have we got here? I mean, there's probably some other ones. Even I think I started doing this just building the desk. Yeah, so you can see like some of my first streams are me just building the desk. I think it's kind of cool because most streamers just start by gaming. I can go back and look at all of this and mounting everything. It probably wasn't the most entertaining stuff, but 100 Day series, because those are always good. I don't think I've ever heard of the 100 Day series. Let me look it up here now. Do a 100 Day. Is that like a game, or are you saying do 100 days? 100 Day series. I've never heard it. That's 100 days on stream. No on Google. Game no on Google. This one? You're looking to play a single player. Like do 100 days in a row of streaming? Is that what you mean? If you're looking to play single players, I would do 100 Days series. Maybe you can send me a link or something. Like these kind of things. 1 day to 100 days in Minecraft, stuff like that. Yeah, no worries, no worries. That's my butt. Anyways, this is like my desk here. This was a bitch to flip it, but oh, like 100 days on YouTube, 100 days on Minecraft and stuff. Yeah, that's something I could look at. I've definitely got like notes and stuff for games I want to play, but I'll definitely keep that in mind. Write that down. Okay, we'll fix that after. Yeah, so you can see like I'm like flipping the desk and building it here for the first time. So stuff like that I think is super cool. Anyway, so this is me like at my final stages. Obviously, when I first started designing the desk, it's not exactly what it is today. So in any game, there's one in-game day and night. Yeah, exactly. That makes sense. So like Minecraft is a good example. I think there's days and night in like Elden Ring, stuff like that, like 100 days. Yeah, that makes sense. Any game with 100. Yeah, I'll check those out. So anyway, so this was like the camera. This is obviously just like my setup when I'm like, this is what I see. Like this is the controller in front of me, stuff like that. The microphone does block a bit of it, so like we moved out of the way for that photo. So the microphone's normally sitting here in front of me, which is on top of all that stuff, but I've got enough room for my hands, so not too bad. Now these photos are a little bit harder to explain, but we'll get to them in a second here. So for example, this is the underside of the desk. It looks like a clusterfuck of wires, and it is, but everything's kind of zip tied to the bottom or Velcro strapped to the bottom with these little hinges, like they're wire straps, and then these are Velcro ties. Everything's mounted where it needs to be or strapped together. It looks very complicated because there's a lot of wires here. Everything's plugged in, runs around, everything's on this run essentially. I'm going to get a new mic because I'm just headphone mic. I mean, headphone mics can be good if you're just gaming, if you want to stream or you want to do higher quality audio. Yeah, new microphone is honestly great. Like, so I have the Shure SM7B. That's something I bought specifically to stream because I wanted to be able to use it on both computers. Before this, I had a blue Snowball, I believe it was, or Yeti. Can't remember the name. It was a USB microphone. USB microphones have come a long way, honestly. If you plug one into the computer, you get like built-in sound capture, you get a lot of suppression, stuff like that. Like it sounds really good, but the problem is it only works on one computer at a time. So if it's only for gaming, then yeah, the USB microphone would be a good way to go, for sure. Here's a little bit more about like, so you can see these are just, I don't know what they were called. I think they were luggage straps or some kind of straps. But essentially I screwed through this little 2x2 with a washer into the bottom of the desk. And then I strapped the computer to this. So that way when the desk goes up and down, the computer is attached to the desk. So that way none of the cables that go from the monitors to the desk, to the computer, sorry. None of the cables that go from the monitor to the computer are any different in length. It's not like the computer sits on the ground and then it goes up and the computer just stays here. So everything moves in unison. So kind of cheap one with good quality. That's good. That's honestly great. Like start out with something that you can afford, and then if it works well and you want to upgrade, then by all means. But you know, headphone microphones, like the one on this, I almost never use it because I've got this. But when I first got these headphones, I use it all the time because it works well enough just for gaming, right? It's like 40-50 bucks Canadian. Yeah, that's a good price. Do you know what they call it? Do you know what it's called? And then here's the back of the monitor. So this is the back of the ring light here. This is the back of the secondary, the top monitor, and there's the fan. So you can see all the cables. It looks like a mess, but they're all strapped down, like strapped to the thing here, strapped to the thing here. They go down into the tube that supports everything, or some go on the outside. So from my point of view, you can't see any of the cables. You can see a couple of the cables for like the mouse and keyboard and stuff, but everything else is mounted and tucked behind all the wires. So it's super clean. So as you can see from this image here, where did it go? You can't see any cables. Like obviously there's a couple cables coming out of the audio mixer, but there's no way to avoid that because there needs to be cables. A couple cables coming down to the camera, but again, this needs power. This needs power and USB. Everything else runs behind this, and straight down behind this pole. So all the wires, all the video inputs, everything like that. So we'll get into the cabling here in a second. But what we'll do here is let me just open this here. Okay, cool. That works. Sorry, I didn't want to show off everything right away. Okay, so what we'll do here is let's start with the setup. So this is the 6-monitor stand that I have. It's obviously way too large, and it doesn't make any sense to put into this setup. But I'll just leave it there for now. I think this is the monitor. Yeah, so here's the monitor. No, you lost it. That's okay. If you find it, let me know. I think the one that I was using before was called the Blue Yeti or Blue Snowball. It was decent. It was a weird shape. Yeah, this was it here. They're about 50 bucks. That's the ice one, so it doesn't have all the features that the main one has, but again, it works really well. It comes with its own stand. It's just USB, so it worked well. If you can afford a Blue Yeti, it's a little bit more powerful, but there's a lot of nice microphones out there. And even some of these basic ones are doing well. Check out, there's is it? He has a whole video on comparing cheap microphones. Top 5 mics under 50 bucks. It's a few years old now, but he might have an updated video. But this is a really good. The video. He shows these little cheap ones that aren't worth buying, he says, and he shows some more expensive ones that make sense. So for under 50 bucks, and I mean, if it's a few years old now, like you might be able to get them a little cheaper. So let me see if I can link that in chat for you. Yeah, check out that. I think it links in chat, but we'll see. Okay, anyway, so we've got my main monitor here. So it's dead center on the screen. It's a 27-inch Asus gaming monitor. I made it like that. Here is the 2450. So we want two of these. So roughly the same size, just slightly smaller. We got this. So we want to move this over here, like right there. Oh, that's the 2450. Do I have the 2460? I don't think I took a picture of it. No, so we're just gonna duplicate this again. So this is what I'm currently seeing. And again, let's have this open so we can reference it. Yeah, so this is the 4 monitors here. See, middle monitor and then 3 BenQ monitors around. Perfect. Okay, and then we got my 2 computers. So what we have here is, I just closed that. I just wanted to leave that open. We'll just minimize that. Yeah, no worries. Have a good one. I'll see you after. So we use the monitors. We use these. I think the next thing we need is the computers. So the first computer I have is it is my streaming computer. Sure. So this isn't the exact case. The case I have is rather old and I can't find it, but it's a thermal take computer case. It sits down here somewhere. I don't think there's gonna be much off that, so let's go like this. Yeah, that sits there. So that's used. And then we have the we have the streaming computer. Or the gaming computer. There we go. So this one is actually correct. This is a Fantex P400 case. They're about the same size in real life, so let's make them about the same size here. There we go, and that sits on this side of my desk. So that's kind of what we're working with right now. So let's just group everything here together. Let's call it images. So if we want to, this is the monitor arm. I don't think we're going to actually keep this in the image when we're done, but this is what it looks like. It's a Vivo 6 monitor arm. I've got everything kind of Amazon linked here for you guys. So I'll be posting this in the description in our Discord. So that's actually a good point here. So in our Discord server, I have a stream recommendations, and everyone was recommending that I show my stream. So if you join our Discord server, you can see we got announcements, stuff like that, chatting, setup, memes, stream discussions, self promo, chilling areas. There's actually a stream suggestion area. It got deleted because I had to redo the whole server, but someone had recommended to do a stream setup. So if you have any ideas for the stream, feel free to post them here, and then I'll see them, and then maybe they'll end up on stream one day. And then if you have a nice setup, you can post it here. So I posted mine here, and when I'm done this video, I'll post the whole wire diagram here as well. So we'll go from there. But yeah, in the description is the Discord server, so feel free to check it out. Are you doing the DIT that you were doing on TikTok? The diet? Yeah, I'm still trying to keep that under, like, I'm still trying to do it. It's very hard to film all my food and like weekly updates. When you lose weight, I've lost weight in the past, and every week you only lose like a pound, if anything. Sometimes you put on muscle by running or putting on muscle by going to the gym. So weight isn't everything. So I'm kind of keeping track of it, but I'm probably down 5 pounds now, but not as much as I'd like to be because I'm just busy with other things. And I think that's unfortunately how life always is for people trying to lose weight. So, but we're still working towards it. We're still working towards it. Okay, so let's make sure these are all centered. Let's grab a, oh no, that's not what I want. Perfect. Okay, so the next thing we need to put is the game PC face is used. 6 monitor stand is used. This is my audio interface. So it's kind of the same image I showed, but more of a detailed copy. We're going to have to just bring this down a little bit. This is going to sit somewhere here. So we actually want to move this into the images. Where's the monitors? These 4 need to move up probably. Yeah, those will move up. This gives me more room down here. We're going to delete this. Don't think it's necessary. That sits somewhere around here on my desk, so we'll leave it in the same position. And there's the big ring light that we have that you guys have seen in the photos. That sits somewhere up here. And then what we'll do is to make things easier to read, let's just put a white background. There we go. Okay, so we want the ring light. That sits up here somewhere, like right there. We'll leave it off to the side here. There we go. And then I have the small ring light. And then well, thanks, man. I appreciate that a lot. Yeah, I guess it's not about look for me. It's more just like health. Like I'm definitely overweight for my height. My weight sits well on my body. I will say that. Like people usually underguess my weight and are kind of shocked by how much I weigh. But I know I've been like 200 pounds before when I used to run a lot and eat properly. And you know, over the last couple of years, you just let things slip and COVID and everything, right? And so it's more just about getting back down to my healthy weight. On top of that, I've got a few weddings coming up. Like I'm at that age where a lot of my friends are getting married and engaged and stuff. So we've got events and weddings, and I got to go down south for trips, and all of that is adding up. And I just want to feel more comfortable in my body. So more comfort, not look specifically, but it doesn't hurt. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. It's not the end of the world, but it's something I want to do. So. Forgot I had made that. I should drink that. Okay, so we have the Nintendo Switch as well. So that just sits right like here somewhere on my desk. There's gonna be a lot of overlap once we start doing wires, but we'll start moving stuff around. There's my keyboard. My keyboard is just a Red Dragon keyboard. If you want any links, let me know. I can throw them your way. I'll put this down here. That's roughly where it sits on the desk. This actually sits underneath the desk. I don't need my mouse pad. I do need the audio mixer. So again, this is the audio mixer. This is only the 4 input one. I have 6, but it'll work for what we're doing here just to kind of show. It's rather small, so let's make it like this. No, just go back. There you go. That sits somewhere around here on my desk. Let's move this up. There's the microphone. It actually sits this way on my desk, but yeah. Oh, what are you doing? No, there we go. Just for my OCD, I want it this way. No, I guess we'll leave it this way, whatever. There we go. So we're just getting things on the screen right now. We'll start moving things around and running the wires here shortly. Here's the sit stand base. I don't think I'm going to keep it on the screen, but I'll definitely post it somewhere so you guys can see it. Small ring. There's the small ring light. So this is the same one. This is actually the Amazon images. It is pretty small, so we'll keep it up here. And then what we probably want to do is move all the images down a little bit. I'm liking how everything's fitting, and then we want the ring light that I just put. Small ring light. I want to move this up just a little bit. So that sits about there somewhere. And then we have the Stream Deck. So there's a lot of, I'll say this now, there's a lot of equipment used in my stream. If you're starting streaming, don't go buy all of this. It's not necessary. I streamed years ago with some friends, and we had a webcam and a simple capture card, like a couple $100, and it worked fine. Now, we weren't dedicated enough when we were younger, like I am now. Like, I do this every day. I edit all the time. I'm constantly thinking of ideas for stream, but I didn't go buy all of this to make my stream better. I had all of these monitors already because I used to have an office and a home office, so I just don't have that office anymore. I just combined all my monitors together. The only thing I bought was the microphone. It is an expensive microphone, but it was a one-time purchase. One thing to add to the stream. I already had this keyboard. I already had the switch. I already had this ring light from when I did photography. I already had this ring light from when I did photography. I did buy the stream deck. I already had this computer at one office, and I already had this computer at the other office. We already had a capture card from years ago when we were streaming, so I just luckily had that. So if you're starting streaming, maybe try buying a nice capture card, a decent webcam, and a good microphone. Other than that, you should be fine. You can stream with one monitor and a single computer. You just need a powerful computer. These stream decks, they're nice. They're nice features, but again, they're not. I don't think they're required for streaming. Like, they're luxuries. They're not necessary. It's hard to say that because obviously I'm just starting and I have it all, but I had everything almost before. I probably spent. The microphone was the most expensive thing, but I can use this now for audio recording or for anything I do on the side, any side projects, right? The stream deck was like $30 used. The fan I just had, I didn't have this one, but I had a fan. I replaced it with this one that's quieter. The monitor arm I bought because I needed a necessity, right? Like, it wasn't required for everything. Here's a Super Nintendo. That does sit around there. So let's move this over. No, we don't want to move all that. This is getting a little tight, but the switch can go there. Yeah, there's not much over here, so let's actually move this over. It does sit on my desk more to the left, but because of image limitations, let's just move all these. Okay, so the Super Nintendo's there. Is this what we want for the Switch instead? No, I think we're going to use the Switch dock that we have. Or the Switch, I think it looks nicer. So let's move this Switch dock up. I do have sound cards. So this is something I bought because of the way the microphone works and the mixer and stuff. The onboard audio in my computer was causing a lot of issues. It could have been cables, could have been a bunch of things, but I bought the sound card that has a lot of nice features for sound suppression, noise reduction, stuff like that I could put into my computers. That really helped. So okay, so how can we do this? I think everything needs to be just a little bit smaller. Let's make everything just a tiny bit smaller here. And then move it up centered because that's going to be important. And then we'll move everything back out as needed here. So we'll move the BenQ this way just to give us some space for some wires, some wired space. The red dragon's only going to connect to the computer, so we can almost just leave that here. I could probably put that over here somewhere. No, that's not what we wanted. So we want the sound card here. Now there is 2 sound cards, so what I'm going to do is connect this. We'll put it like right here on the side to show that it's in this computer. And then we actually want to duplicate this layer because we have one in both computers because we're using the same microphone. And that was a fix I used. There might have been a better fix. I don't know for sure. So what we'll do is draw a box around these afterwards to show kind of where everything sits. So sound card's gone. The Manfrotto arm. This is the arm that sits up here. Oh, here's my mouse, Logitech G502. Again, I've got it in the description or in the links I'll send out shortly here after the stream. You'll be able to see all of this here. So Red Dragon keyboard, Logitech G502. These will probably end up moving here down here, I think. But what else do we have? We have, oh, there's a network switch that's on the bottom of the desk. I don't know if I have an image of it. I probably do. Let me see here. Pictures of setup. We have an image of the network switch. That's the bottom side. There it is. So on the bottom of my desk, there's internet coming in. One of these is internet coming in from the wall in my house. Then one of these goes out to the streaming computer, one of these goes out to the gaming computer, and one of them went out to a laptop I used to have here, but I just left it there in case I ever put a laptop or a Switch or anything, or like an Xbox or something back here, and it needs an Ethernet cable. These are my HDMI splitters and stuff, so I might need to make everything smaller again. We're running out of room. The network switch is now in there. It's much smaller than this. No, I want network switch. So we'll make it smaller. There we go. I think I have the... Oh, no, there's the capture card. So this is my capture card. It's a PCI Blackmagic DeckLink Duo. It has support for up to 4 1080p monitors, or 1080p inputs. When we streamed before, we had a couple inputs from multiple people. So we bought this capture card. It's overkill for what I'm doing. My original plan was to use it for my webcam as well as my gaming monitor. But my webcam just worked. The camera that you're looking at right now, this thing, it worked better off of a USB cable than off of this because the HDMI output was limited. So I just used USB. Maybe one day I'll get a camera where the HDMI out is actually full 1080 and it'll be better. But for now, this works. It allows me to have both things plugged in, like the Switch as well as the computer. So it allows me to do things like, oh, okay, we want to talk about something on the computer, like here's my setup. Oh, and then we want to jump into a game right away. So there we go, the game's open. I don't need to deal with anything. I don't need the desk. I don't need to unplug and plug in my new capture card, anything like that. On top of all of that, the inputs are different. So for the Switch, as well as the gaming monitor, as well as the Super Nintendo, they all plug in via HDMI, but they're all different sizes on the computer. So I have multiple different setups for each of the different inputs, so that way everything connects and works properly. You gotta go? Yeah, no worries, man. See you later. Thanks for checking out the stream. I'll talk to you later or tomorrow if you come on. I appreciate it. This is actually in this computer here. So we're definitely gonna need to make some more room on this canvas. Cable staples. Oh. So this is actually probably an interesting thing, but all of my cameras, so my webcam as well as the camera I use above my on-demand photo arm here, they run off batteries, but when you're streaming for 5-6 hours, your battery's going to die and you don't want to be changing the batteries. So what you can do is buy these called dummy batteries or AC power batteries. Essentially, you put this in your camera. It fits the same as a regular camera battery, and then you plug it directly into the wall. So as long as you have power at your house, you'll have power at the camera. If for any reason my power goes out at my house, my computers won't work, so I won't be streaming, so I'm not super worried. So I have one of these connected to my camera, and that runs all the way down into the power. So let's go here and say not use. Here's the webcam I use actually, so we'll put that up here. We want to rotate, flip horizontally because it looks, oh, it reads wrong there. Yeah, but it looks better like this to me because that's how it's set up. There we go. So the reason that's upside down is just because that's how it is in real life. So I figured I'd do that so that we can see. So that's used. Here's the mic arm I use. It's an Elgato LP mic arm. You can kind of see it in the screen here a little bit. The reason I have this one is that it it goes underneath my monitors. I've had some mic arms in the past that come from the side and down, and I find because I have the 3 monitor setup, it just blocks a good portion of this monitor. This comes down from below and up, so I don't really notice. It doesn't block anything for me. Now it covers my hands a little more, but you get used to it, and I find having the monitors all visible is more important to me than having a little bit of extra room for my hands currently. So that's actually connected to this. So we'll just kind of set it like that as for fun. Let's use HDMI to SDI. So this is the Blackmagic microconverter. It converts the HDMI signal from my computer into an SDI signal, which is what the capture card requires. I actually have 4 of these, but I'm only using 2 in the setup. So let's just make this a little smaller here. So we'll set that there. You know, this is gonna end up being too small. So let's go canvas size. Let's just make this bigger. So no, we don't relative. Let's make it 25 by 15. Yeah, that makes more sense. Just so that when you zoom in, I can save it as a high-res PDF, and then you'll at least be able to see the image, right? I'll clean that in. Control T. Let's make this bigger. Yeah, it's gonna end up being a stupid large file, but like I said, we'll save it as a PDF. It'll be really high resolution. We're gonna do all the wires here in a second, so when you zoom in, you'll be able to see all the wires. I'll label everything, and then we'll do a software one as well. So we need 2 of these actually. So let's duplicate this layer. So these are actually under the desk. So let's go. We want the HDMI to SDI. So let's actually move this out of the way. This only plugs into one thing, so I think that this can be over here somewhere, because I don't think there's much more. Let's remove the arm for now. We'll hide the arm for now, and then if we need to put it back in, we can. There is one HDMI splitter because the Nintendo Switch only has a single output, so I had to split the audio, the signal first. So this is actually about the same size as that. So let's put that there for now. The fan is important. That actually lives like right up here. It's pretty small compared to the monitor. Oh, it's a good size compared to the monitor. Here we go. And then I'm looking this way because this is the 2 monitors, right? These 2 monitors are connected. Here's what my tabletop looks like. Not that it matters, but maybe we'll extend the thing after and put things that are not used there. Mouse pad. Here's what the little straps look like to hold all the cables down. Again, not important right now. Not used. Super clamp. So this is what's actually holding up my camera, as well as my. So you can see on the camera here, it's mounted with something. It's clipped on with this super clamp here. Same with this. So this is a super clamp. It just has a standard stud in it. It doesn't have the little dangly thing that's mounted there, and it's taped because it just wasn't holding properly. So I just taped it to make sure it doesn't spin. But the super clamp is. We don't want that. We want this. There we go. Again, it may not be necessary, but let's just save that for later. Here's actually what's called a super clamp. It's made by Manfrotto. I'm using this to hold the arm to the whatever you call it. I'm using this to hold this arm to the ring light. There we go. Home place. Yeah. We'll save that for later. Here's what the Velcro cable ties look like. You can get like a pack of 100 on Amazon for $10 or something. They are a lifesaver. You can use multiple if it's too thick. Like if you get too many cables, you just throw a second one on there. I use these to run down all the wires. So we'll save those for after. And then here's the chair I'm currently sitting in. So it's a AK Racing Arctic gaming chair. It is super comfortable. I've had it for years, and it's actually got lifetime warranty on the frame. If the leather ever breaks, I think you can get it reupholstered, but currently it's been holding up, and I've had it for 5 or 6 years now. So perfect. So I think this is all the electronics that are at my desk. So what we'll do here is let's start running some basic cables. So we want to probably set up a new group. And then duplicate the group. We'll call this one background. It doesn't matter. And then this one's just going to be called cables. So let's make sure everything's kind of where it needs to be. They're kind of all centered. Let's move this out of the way. So this only has a power cable, so that's simple. What we probably need is a power bar of some kind. Just to indicate power. It doesn't have to be the exact one I have. I had bought a nice one from Amazon. We just want a clean one that's easy to read. I guess we could use this one, and then any power cables will be yellow. So let's save the image. I'll put it here and just call it power cables. Nice. So then let's bring this in here. Oh, it's already a PNG. No, it's just behind everything. Let's move this to the top. Get rid of the background. Power cables, and we want to remove the background. So this is something I did yesterday for a lot of these. There we go. That works fine. And then we want to erase the So we will take the eraser tool and just erase all this. And let's get this. That didn't get perfect, but got decent. There we go. Luckily it's square and easy to clean up. So let's just get rid of most of this. Get rid of all of this here. And let's clean down this side as well. And one thing I want to do, nothing against this company, but I just don't want the logo on the image when I'm sending it out. So let's just clone stamp this out. So it's just like just copying the stuff around it here to make it look. Why did that happen? Yeah, this can be so small, it's not going to matter too much, but we're going to do it. We're going to do it right. And it's probably a lens flare of some kind, or like a reflection, sorry. So it tapering doesn't matter too much. And it looks normal for the most part. Let's grab this and just bring that in just a little bit, and same with this one here. There we go, that looks good. Okay, so what we'll do then is let's just turn this way and put the power cable. So everything's gonna need power. So not everything, but a lot of stuff will need power. I think if we keep this at the bottom somewhere here, we'll be able to run just everything down to power. So what we'll do then is let's, instead of calling this, save that. So we'll call this power cables, I guess. And then layer 1, and then we're just going to paint them on. So what we'll do is we'll go here. That's too small, I think. I want to be able to see this as well. Let's erase the background there so it's a clean slate. And then I'll actually just add a new layer to make sure we don't mess that up. This seems too small. Oh, we're painting white, that's why. Okay, 6 seems fine actually. Maybe we could do 5 to make it nice and even. At hardness 100%. That's too thick? That might be too big. Let's try actually 4 pixels. Or 3 even. Yeah, 3 looks better. And then we want the same yellow that's on the power brick. Let's just take that. And actually we want to start erasing something here. No, we want the power cables. What do we call this? Let's call this power bar. It's easy to find. I will also share the stream here. Let's go. Okay. So for cables, or for power cables, we'll just make everything yellow. Then we can just erase and add stuff as needed. So probably not a good idea to do power cables first. Let's duplicate this group and call it other cables. Okay, so we'll do power cables last because we might move some stuff around as we start adding things. Let's start with the big things first. So first things first, let's start with maybe a few different colors. So we'll start labeling different colors. What kind of cables do we have? We have power cables, we got video cables, we got audio cables, we got networking cables. So video, audio, power, networking. We need like 4 different colors. So maybe what we can do is make a legend. Or we can just do blue, green, and red. That's simple enough. I was just looking for some simple colors. So what we could do is just full red. And let's just take the paintbrush tool. So there's the red that we want to use. Cable colors. And then we want to full yellow, I guess. Or full green, 255 with nothing. So we'll just stick that there. This is just so we can pick them up easy again later. And then 255 for blue with no green. 0. Okay, and then we want to label them. So we probably want, what were the 3 options again? We said it was, these are way too big. Make it like 18 points. That's easier to read. Make it a little bigger. We said we had video cables, we had audio cables, and we had power, and we had networking. I assume that's all the cables that we have right now. Audio, video, power, networking. We need one more for like the mouse cable or the cable from the Stream Deck. We need one for the USB power, the auxiliary, stuff like that. We need one more color. So well, we know yellow is going to be this is just for temporary. We can always fix that later. Yellow is going to be our power cable. And then we want one more color for proprietary cables, like my mouse cable to the computer, the Stream Deck to the computer, things that are not necessarily power, not necessarily audio video kind of input devices. So if we just go 255, we don't have anything black yet, eh? I guess we could just do a black cable. We'll just say proprietary. That makes sense. That's simple enough. Let's go grab this again. So let's go back to the text here. So let's go up and stick this here. We can move them around after, but let's get these set for our colors. Okay, so we know that we want generic cable there. We know we want networking to be power can be yellow for sure. Generic cables can be black. Audio can be green. Video can be red. Networking can be blue. I'm good with that. So then what we want to do is probably change some of these colors. That could be red. This can be green. Networking can be blue, which I think it pretty much already is, but let's just confirm it's the same blue. Power is going to be yellow, and then generic will be... Oh, hang on. Let's go back and highlight. Generic cables can be black. There we go. Yeah, that's good. We'll put that there for now. Oh, background below. There we go. Okay. So first things first, let's start doing some of the bigger cables because that's going to be... We'll do probably power last because I feel like everything has power. It's not going to matter too much. So gaming PC makes sense. So this is actually in the gaming PC. So how are we going to show that? Maybe what we could do is we could move the Red Dragon keyboard to the center here. No, we want the Logitech G502. Gaming PC can sit like here. I also want to put the specs on here. So maybe what we could do is stick this here somewhere. I think in the middle makes sense. Now we'll do something like this. The gaming, anything that's in the computer can go there. We'll save that for later. And we'll move this to the bottom corner for now. Streaming computer case can sit somewhere here. Huh. I'm just trying to figure out the best layout. So all this stuff needs to connect somehow. So this is going to go from here to here and then to here. It's a very long cable run, but it makes sense because that's kind of just how things go. The sound card is in this computer, and so we'll just do something like this. I think that makes sense. Leave the top corner open. You want these about the same height because it looks better. Okay, so that means everything's going to be kind of squished there. Can we make the canvas bigger? Probably. Will we? Maybe. Let's hide this arm for now. It doesn't have any cables running to it. The small ring light is here. This can go here. That's fine. We actually are going to have to move this down because I can just foresee all the cables that are going to hit it. And this has to go over here somewhere. At least there's some room to run some cables, which is nice. Canvas size, we need to go down a little bit. Oh, it didn't just stretch? Oh, we can always just crop it this way too. There we go, that's fine. Then we just add the background. Add to the background. Wrong one. Let's go this way. There we go. Now I think if we did this, it would do everything except for this. What is that from? Okay, perfect. So let's go here and grab. Let's grab most of this stuff. So power bar. I don't think the power in the middle makes sense. I think just keep the power off to one side or at the bottom because everything's going to be fed power. I think the switch can go over here. The Stream Deck really can just sit up here because it's only going to plug into this computer. So as much as I would like to have this sitting on the desk, it doesn't make any sense. The network switch again, it's going to plug into multiple things, so anywhere in the center and power, so that's fine. HDMI splitter should be somewhere near the... Okay, so maybe we should put the peripherals down here like this. This can go there, this can go here. The only reason I say that is because I think what will happen is these type of things. Yeah, this can sit up here because this only plugs into the one computer. So a generic cable from here to here, a generic cable from here to here. And that can stay there. These need to sit somewhere nicely. Maybe we should move the network to this side because these are going to be close to the HDMI splitter for one of them. The other one, not so much. Super Nintendo can sit right here. This can be a little bit smaller, actually. And that's going to plug into here, so that's not too bad. I can actually sit like this. Pretty happy with that. Let's move them out because we got a bit of space. This is much bigger in real life, so let's make that bigger. So is this, so let's make this bigger too. There we go. Okay, so we don't want to be too close to this, so maybe we can move the Super Nintendo over a little bit. Move this over a little bit. We don't want to be too close to the power bar. But I think that makes sense because this is going to go to all the monitors. This is going to go to these two. These are going to go to these two. This is going to go back to this computer. This goes back to the power, which is super far, but it shows kind of where it is. These are all underneath the desk, and these are all on top of the desk. So maybe we should switch those two. On top of desk, under desk. Yeah, maybe we could do that. Then I should move these down as well. Network switch. Let's try that. That would make sense to me. Super Nintendo up. Switch up. Oh yeah, but then where does this go? There's gonna have to be some overlap. There's no way to do this without overlap. That's fine. If I move these three down, that's actually not the worst idea. We'll do an under desk and over desk. That actually means that this needs to move. So Stream Deck can sit somewhere here. And then the sound card can come down. Let's move the computer down first. Okay, so we have this, and then we have these two. I'll just put this up here again. I don't know where that came from, but that's fine. Just delete that layer, that's fine. These two. We'll keep that together. So we'll do an over desk and under desk. That makes sense to me. Probably need to make this even bigger. It's not that much bigger. Just give us a little bit of extra room. Yeah, like that. And then we'll just, again, fill in this background. So this started, I could make everything smaller, but I want to make sure that it's legible on a high quality PDF. You know what? Maybe, no, we want this streaming PC. Maybe we do something like this. Because everything on the computer is going to plug into, not everything, just one thing. So we want this to line up. Maybe the sound card can actually go below it because only one thing plugs into the sound card, which is over here. And the sound card over here. This is going to have to come down and over. I want to make sure these line up because it'll look nicer in the long run. There we go. So that has the capture card. Just trying to get everything settled nicely. The Stream Deck. We can actually label this probably like sits on the desk. This doesn't really sit on the desk, but let's move this over here. I think that makes more sense. No, let's move this, yeah, there. Okay, so it's not perfectly to scale, but it should be good enough for what we're doing here. The reason I moved everything like this is all the stuff that's mounted up here. So my monitors, the camera, the fan. This can actually move down. This just plugs into there, so that's no big deal. That's simple enough to run a cable down. This goes from here to here, so I'll just do that. This has to plug into both the computers, the monitor, and the switch. This plugs just generically into the computer here, and then I use actually software to use keyboard and mouse on both computers, so we'll take that. Okay. There we go, and this is network, so this is simple enough just to network from there to there. The switch doesn't have a network cable yet, but it could. Actually, I don't know if the dock I bought has a network plug. Let's find out. Amazon. I buy everything off Amazon. Not everything, but your orders. What am I doing? I have it all saved here. So here's the switch dock. So we try to find the switch dock. This is actually the one. I don't think this has network. No network. Just USB, power, HDMI, stuff like that. No, okay. So then what we want to do is let's start running some cables. So the hardest cables to run are going to be all the video cables and everything. We also want to put the specs of the computer. So here we can do that above. Put the Stream Deck up a little bit. I'll put this up here. So this stuff is on the desk. So below the desk, everything up here is on the desk or mounted to the desk. That's pretty straightforward. So let's start with cable color, power cables. No, other cables are fine. We want a new layer here. So let's start with, let's actually call these network cables, power cables, cable colors. Let's duplicate this group and call it, what's rather, video cables. And let's duplicate this group again and call it audio cables. And duplicate it one more time and call it generic cables. So let's start with the, oh, I should name this properly. Network cables, that's simple. Power is pretty complicated. Let's start with the video cables because it seems the most interesting to me. Generic here. Okay, and what I'll start doing is start labeling them as well. So we want to get this. We said we're going to do size 3, I believe. Video cables. What color do we want for video cables? Wait, we want to get rid of that white shit. So for video cables, it is going to be red. There we go. So now we can draw wherever we need to draw. Let's try to do this nicely here. So out from this computer, So the first video cable is it plugs in here and here. So maybe we can just this way, then this way, and this way. There we go. The images are all on top. I just need to clean that up a little bit because my OCD. That's a video cable. That's one video cable. I've done this before and I don't remember exactly how I did it, but. And then we want to draw a second one. So we want to take another pen. So maybe we should make sure we have enough room to see everything here. No, we don't want that. I continue this one. Then you want to come down. No, that looks ugly. We don't want to do that. There has to be a better way to do this. Down. There we go. And then we want to clean up the edges again. I feel like there was a better way to do this last time I did it, but I can't remember. So we're just gonna do it this way. And this brush can be a little smaller because what we're doing is always going to be tight like this. Okay, and then I actually have one more video cable, even though I've only got 2 monitors. I've got one going to this HDMI. What are your PC specs? I'll get there in a second. I can tell you it is. I had to write them down. They're right here. So the gaming computer is an Intel i7 7700K with a GTX 1070, 16 gigs of RAM in a Fantex case, and the streaming computer is an i7 3820, GTX 964 gigs with 16 gigs of RAM in a Thermaltake case. Yeah, I'll show you the picture of the setup here. I had it open. Yeah, no problem. If you wait 2 seconds, I'll show you what it looks like here. I'm just going through and doing all the wires. It is like this. That one's the moving one. This one. So there's the streaming computer, there's the gaming computer. And I'm just doing all the wiring diagrams so I can post it so when people ask, I can show them kind of everything. I gotta add the PC specs to the final image for sure though, so we'll do that in a second here. And we'll bring this back over here. Okay, so we want to go from... What's happening? There we go. Let's zoom in here a little bit. We're on the right layer for video. So we're actually going to go out. Then down. I think this can actually just go straight into the computer. So let's go from here into the computer. There we go. So that's from HDMI. And then we need to go from SDI to the capture card, which is down here. So let's say PC1. Let's call this PC1 video. Let's start a new layer and call it streaming PC video. So let's call this gaming PC video. I'll also make this Photoshop file available in case anyone wants it. Probably not as interesting. Anyways, and then we want to go. So this is the first monitor, so probably something like this down here. And then this way. And then this way. And we're just going to plug into the side here just to make it simple. And let's just clean up the corners here. There has to be a better way to draw these lines, right? Like I'm probably doing something wrong. I want them to be perfectly vertical, but there has to be a better way. Okay, let's go back here. So then we want to come off of this one. And we want to go from here to wherever here, somewhere there. And that's fine. A little far, but we'll take it. And we can bring it in and we can just erase it here to here. And then from here to here. And follow this one all the way down, essentially. Let's go this way. This should just... Oh, that's way too far. We can just erase it, though. Okay, let's clean up the corners again. That corner looks actually pretty good. This corner looks decent. This corner is over. And there we go there. And we want to erase this because, you know, I actually just put those on the same thing. So we'll just call this PC to monitor. Okay. And then let's add a new one. Actually, there's not much more video, so let's just continue with the video here. Probably didn't need to make a layer for it, but there might be some more generic ones that need it. So let's go back to drawing. So then from here, this one actually is kind of confusing. It comes down from here. And then actually I should have just went straight down into it. So let's go straight down into it. And then what we'll do is we'll draw a circle. Is there an easy way to draw a circle? I can't remember on Photoshop. Yeah, here. I could do line tool as well, eh? I could go from here to... No, that's way too thick. No, we don't want a line. We don't want to fill either. We want a circle. We don't want any fill though. No fill. Stroke with the same red that's here. And then how thick do you want the stroke? 3 pixels. That's too thick. 2? Not the right red though. It'll be good enough. You know, I do something like this to show that it's not connected. And then erase. Yeah, that's fine. Then you want to do the video cables from there. Oh no! Right, I forgot that it's going to be overlapping. So we're going to get this brush even smaller here. There we go. I think that looks better than just going straight across it. Shows that it like jumps it. Right? That makes sense. Okay, I'm happy with that. Okay, so the video actually comes out from this, goes to this, and then this goes to one of these, and then also goes to one of the monitors. So let's draw that in now. So this is actually pretty straightforward in the sense that we can come down from here. Let's come down a little bit. And then we want to go over. Slowly until we see the HDMI. There we go. Then we want to come up from this one to about here, and then in. Go. And then there's also an HDMI that comes out from here. So let's go over, and then up, and then over. And this can actually just go straight up into the monitor. Okay, perfect. Now we need to erase a little bit of this. Okay, this one needs to be cleaned up a little bit here. Now here's a little bit of the confusing part. So this goes into the splitter, but this also goes into the Super Nintendo at the same time. So I actually just switch it back and forth, but they both go through the splitter because, unfortunately, to capture the audio, to capture the video and to play it on the screen, you need to go through the splitter. The PC lucks out because it has two outputs, so I just use one for the output. It just mirrors this monitor, the main monitor. One goes to the monitor and one goes to the capture card, so that the graphics card is doing it for me, doing the splitting. So what we'll do then is maybe let's draw a dotted line. So let's take the ellipse actually, let's duplicate it. Let's move this over here. Control T, let's rotate it. Stretch it a little bit so I can jump it. There we go. And then we want to just connect these lines here. So this can go from here to here, or from here to here, and then just up into it. That's fine. Okay. So let's make this a dotted line. So what we'll probably do is just start erasing every few inches. Let's go here, make this a little bigger. So like this, and then there, and then there, and 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 there, there. So the reason I'm making this dotted is because it's not a permanent cable. It's only permanent. That's too far. And then there. It's only connected when it needs to be. So I'm gonna make this one dotted as well. Why can't I erase that? Oh, I drew on the eclipse. Oops. No, that's not gonna work. Here, maybe here, and no, probably just make it a single dot. Just like that. So it's broken because, oh, I think it just makes sense broken. Most of the time it's plugged into the switch. Maybe we can just leave it. So we'll make a note on the PDF here that HDMI out, and then just shared HDMI cable. So when I start doing the drawings, I'll start doing that there. That's easy enough to follow. Okay, perfect. So then let's go back to drawing. So what other video sources do we have? So this plugs into this monitor and this monitor. This one plugs into this monitor, and the connector. And then both of these need to plug into the. So we'll need to copy the eclipse again. So let's duplicate that layer. Bring this down over here somewhere. Let's draw the first one. Actually, it doesn't require it. So out from this comes this way. And it's going to come down. And over. I'm not going to do the little jumps if it's a different color. Just there we go. That goes into there. And this one does the same thing. It comes this way. It's going to come down. And then from here, we're just going to go down just ever so slightly. And then we're going to go this way. And then same thing. It's going to come down and plug into the card there. So that can go a little lower. It'll look better if it goes a little lower. There we go. And then into here. Okay, and then let's just clean up the... I'm not really drawing on the right layer there, but it's already done. So let's just call it a day there. That's a good jump. Maybe needs a little touch up right there. Yeah, I'll take that. And this one needs to be pushed up here. There we go, and there we go. Okay, so now we can just turn off the video cables. I think that's all the video cables because the video from this goes into the splitter, which then goes into either the 27-inch monitor. So let's just actually flatten all these. Merge the layers. Call it red video cables. And then what we can do is make a new layer and call it... Except for that's not going to work because as soon as you make text layers, it's going to Actually, no, I think red makes sense. So let's call this HDMI out. We don't want a 24 point. We probably want like 15 points. Or 11 point. Yeah, 11 point makes more sense. So one of these is HDMI out. Or where's this one going? That one's actually DVI. So I wrote it down here. I went through all this yesterday when I was off screen to make sure. Go through it quickly here. Here we go. Neat. Notebook. Okay, so the first one from the gaming computer is actually there's no HDMI. It's DisplayPort. So let's change that. Let's just call it DP out. It actually goes to the main monitor, so let's put that right there. And then it actually goes DisplayPort to HDMI for the next one here to the capture card. So it goes DisplayPort to HDMI out. There's a little adapter there. And then the last one is DVI out. It's just DVI out. Is that too small to read? No, that's not bad. Okay, and then we have, this is going to be HDMI in. HDMI in. I feel like that's too low quality. No, it looks fine as long as I don't zoom in crazy on it. And then this is going to be SDI out. SDI out, where you can't see anything because it's too small. SDI out, and then we can actually just copy this layer. Duplicate layer. This is also going to be SDI out. So we'll move that there. And there's also going to be an HDMI in. So let's duplicate that layer. This is also HDMI in. And then we need to duplicate an DVI. No, so let's make sure this is correct. So this is going to be DVI in. Actually, I kind of want to turn this. I think it makes more sense. Like this. It probably makes more sense like this. DVI in. That's my secondary monitor. And then we want DisplayPort in. And we want to turn this because we've got to match the direction of the cable. There we go. So that's DisplayPort in, DisplayPort out, DisplayPort in, DisplayPort to HDMI out. So it's a DisplayPort to HDMI adapter, and then out, HDMI in, SDI out, HDMI in, coming from the HDMI splitter. So then we need an HDMI out. So we need one that says HDMI out. And that can be turned because it'll fit better this way. No, it'll fit better this way. That actually fits there, and then we can just duplicate it. Duplicate this layer, and then let's go HDMI out as well here. Actually, I could take this. We could do something like this, and it'll look better. I think it looks better because it'll line up with the HDMI out, and then we have an HDMI in. There's HDMI in. So let's duplicate this. And this can just go like this. There we go. That's HDMI in. Now this is an HDMI out as well. So we can move this here and say single HDMI. We gotta figure out how to say this, but essentially HDMI shared HDMI out. Yeah, we'll say shared HDMI out. So you can just switch the cable from one to the other. That's an HDMI out. Do we need little arrows? No, I think this is fine. HDMI out, HDMI out, HDMI in, HDMI in, SDI out, SDI out, and then these are going to be 2 SDI in. So that's the only thing available to us. So let's call SDI in. And then we'll just duplicate that layer. We could probably get away with 1 there, but let's make it look proper. Yeah, SDI in, SDI in. Okay, so I'm happy with that. The out from this computer is a DVI and an HDMI. So we know that this one has to be the HDMI. So let's find an HDMI out. Duplicate, and then just drag it over. This can be there. Just want to HDMI out. And then this last one is DVI out. So we'll just type it because why not? DVI out. There we go. And then we have a HDMI in. We've already got a bunch of those. So let's just duplicate this layer. HDMI in is this one. And this one up here is a DVI. Do I have any DVI ins yet? I do not. Let's write this out. DVI in. DVI in. Let's rotate this, make it look nice. There we go. DVI in. Apply. What are we missing here? Shared HDMI out. That makes sense. I think that makes sense over there instead of over here. So shared HDMI out. Single cable that comes down to the splitter. The splitter then goes out to the TV here, so all on play on the main monitor, and then goes to HDMI in, which then goes to HDMI out, SDI out, SDI in, and then this is obviously in the computer. We can label that. Okay, so I think we got all the audio, video out, video out. This is plugged into there. That's not plugged into there. Display port to HDMI out, display port out, and DVI out. Yeah, that makes sense. Perfect. Okay, I'll just get some water here. Okay, perfect. Okay, so that's our video cables. We can turn that off. We'll leave it on here for a second. We could then do the audio cables probably. It's going to be the next. Audio cables is green. So audio cables, what do we have for audio? So from the switch, it actually carries the HDMI out over this. SDI will carry the HDMI from the Switch and the Super Nintendo carry to the HDMI out. Carries the HDMI splitter. The splitter carries it through the SDI, and that carries audio there. So there's no audio cable per se. But there is an audio cable actually that comes from this monitor that comes down over, and it is, doesn't matter where it goes. Let's just go into the side of it like this. And the reason for that is the audio from the TV. So when I'm carrying HDMI audio here, I can listen to it on my headphones without playing through the TV. So when I'm streaming, the microphone doesn't pick up the audio from the game. The game is picked up through the capture card. We have audio coming out from this computer here. Let's draw some audio out. So we want to come, I guess, down, over, and into this thing. And let's clean up the corners again. There we go. Clean up the corner. So that's just an auxiliary cable, like a headphone out cable, into this. The other one that's plugged in is the streaming computer. So we gotta draw that now. So the streaming computer can come, let's just say right here, all the way over, and just plug it in there. Good job. And then let's make sure this corner is good. Actually, that corner is really good. Cool. So we got the gaming computer plugged in. We got the streaming computer plugged in. The switch actually comes through this. And then there's one more that just dangles, but we're not going to draw it. So then let's start drawing the text. This actually is just super simple. It's aux out. I think it's a 3.5 millimeter. Yeah, let's just say auxiliary out because everyone knows what that means. That's the auxiliary out. And then we can actually duplicate that because it's going to be the same for most of them. And let's bring this all the way over here. It's kind of hard to read the green, but it should be okay because it's one of the smaller ones. And duplicate this as well. And then this can actually just go right there. So from the monitor actually has a headphone out. So we're using that headphone out advantage to capture the audio. Now the disadvantage is that if you're playing audio through the HDMI, it's also capturing it into the mixer as well at the same time. So we just need one now that says aux in. And we can move this. This is going to be tripled. And I just realized we don't have the headphones. So we'll have to add some headphones. So this is an in, this is an in. This is also an in. Perfect. And then what headphones do I have? I can't remember. I mean, I'm wearing them. Let me just find them. I think they are Steel Series. They look like something like this. They're white. The Ace Arctics. Steel Series Arctic 3s. I think they're just the basic ones. Let's save this image. So we'll have to save that and we'll clean that up later. Okay, perfect. So let's add some headphones then. Where did that file go? Oh, it's actually right here. So let's... Perfect. This is going to be a little hard because... Actually, let's just try to erase the background first. 32 might be a little much. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so let's drop this tolerance down. It's hard to do because we've got so much stuff below it. Get rid of all of this and all of these. And then let's actually just add a black background. We're just doing this for a second. We're gonna clean it up here in a minute. Let's get rid of the black background. Once we get rid of the white around the headphones. No, I want to redo that actually. So I think that unfortunately it's going to erase a lot of it. So let's make the tolerance super low. 4. Wow, it's still grabbing that, eh? Okay, that's not bad. Get right down here. Okay, let's see if we go down to 1 tolerance. That's close enough for what we need. It's going to sit on a white background, so not the end of the world. Let's get rid of this as well. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just cleaned up a little bit. Okay, perfect. So then we can get rid of the black background. We can turn everything else back on. We can actually put this in images. Where'd you go? There you go. Turn on images. And let's move this around. Let's make this a little smaller. So this is actually the headphones I use. We can put them up here or something. Okay, that's fine. Keep the images. Yeah, that's fine. We want to get all the cables back on so we know we're not overlapping too much. We can delete that one. Headphones, they should be a little smaller. Okay, then what we need to do then is draw an auxiliary out, because what happens is my computer audio goes into this audio goes into this audio goes into this, and I run an audio cable out from here into my headphones. So I'm actually just going to run the cable straight up here. We can't have black, we need the green. There we go. And let's just erase a little extra bit there. Yeah, that's fine. And then let's add some text here. I just draw on the same layer as that. Oh, I totally did. I can't have that. That's gonna bother me. So we need to go back to the layer we were on, which is these ones. So let's take another stab at this. So from here out, somewhere there-ish, and then from here over. And then we just want to clean up the corner again. Okay, and then what we call this headphone out, I guess. That makes the most sense to me. Let's rotate this. Yeah, except for I don't like the fact that it's... There we go. Yeah, I like that. That's better. Okay, so we got the headphone out. So I think that's all the audio. So there's a bit of software running on this computer that carries the audio through HDMI as well as the headphones. We can do that later. Let's do the network now, because the networking one should be pretty straightforward. The networking cables. Let's add a layer. Oh, actually I had a layer already. Call it network cables, and then we want to start drawing. And what color do we want? I don't want to pick the networking color, blue. This should be pretty straightforward for this, at the very least. So we can probably just actually highlight over this. And this can just go into there. No, I want to go straight. And then this will be a little more complicated to find a route from this computer, but I think this is looking like it here. That's pretty close to that. I don't like that. I guess we can always do a step down. Yeah, we'll do a step up there. That's fine. This way. From here to there. Here to there. And then here to there. Yeah, and let's just erase it again to make it look nicer. We're on the right thing. Yeah. Network out. So let's just call it. We don't really need to label these because they're... Well, we could probably label them. Let's go here and go network in. RJ45. Might as well call it that. We can just duplicate it a bunch. And then duplicate it again. That's just all this is, right? So duplicate layer one more time and bring this over here. That's pretty straightforward, I think. If anyone doesn't know, an RJ45 is just a network cable, essentially, just the end piece. But it'll just keep it short and simple instead of like network cable, network cable. So I think that's everything that's plugged in. This is on wireless. This is wireless. This doesn't have internet. What am I talking about? These are generics. Okay. And then we need something for the sound card here. So actually there's more sound. Oh, I drew the sound wrong. Okay, we gotta redraw the sound. So that's why it's good it's on a different layer, because then we can go back. So this here, we can erase a bunch of it, actually. We don't need to erase, we could probably just redraw it. Let's just redraw it. We need a pen, we need the color again of the audio. We need to go out from this, about there, and then about here. Okay, so actually I didn't go far enough with this one, but that's okay. We'll keep that. And then same with this here. So this needs to come down. It plugs into the sound card. So I figured I'd show off the sound card here. Maybe from here somewhere. Yeah, we want it from like here. Okay, then we want to start erasing all these extra lines. And then what we'll do is let's start moving the labels around. The only reason I did the jump on the red there is because it's red on red. I think it's very obvious when it's green on red or a different color on red. Let's go over here and start erasing this. This is just very basic Photoshop. I'm not the best at it, but it's working for what we need, so let's take it. We'll use it. I'm sure there's probably even a program you can get that does something similar, but auxiliary out copy, that's what we want. We don't want it to be this way anymore. We want it to be this way. And then we want the same thing with this. We want the auxiliary out. We want to rotate this. There we go. That's plugged into the back of the computers. And then that actually cleans it up a little bit. And then networking. Okay, and then we need to run power to this, power to this, power to this. This doesn't have any power. That's just headphones. This is generic. This actually is an audio cable as well. So let's actually go back to audio. We didn't finish that. So we need to go and draw another line here. Auxiliary out into this, but then from this, so we're going to have to do an ellipse again. So let's do the circle first. Just to get out of the way. We don't want any fill. We want a stroke of green. We want the stroke to be way smaller than that. Maybe 2. That's really small. Why is that so small? Maybe 3? 5? It's not the right color. Why is it not 100% or something? Oh, the opacity got dropped down. That explains it. We'll go to that and let's make this 3. It looks too thick. I think 2 looks better. No, I was happy with that. Okay, we'll take that. That's fine. Okay, so let's start drawing the lines, then we can add this in here. So what we need to do is we need to go from here. We need to go from here down to this. So that's auxiliary out. Let's call this a microphone in. We're gonna have to do one there. Okay, we'll do one there in a second. And then same with this. So this is gonna be a microphone in. Does it make sense to go up and follow that or go over this way? Is there any easy way to do this? It's too close. Let's go up a little bit though. Huh. Should probably move this one over. This doesn't look too bad there. Happy with that, but how does that look going through here? No, it doesn't look good. I'll line it up first maybe and see. Yeah, not super happy with that. Okay, let's find a better line. Maybe up here? Yeah, I'm okay with up there. I think this line's gonna have to move a little bit. So we're gonna have to continue this one over here. And then continue this one down. Maybe we could use that one that's already there. There we go. Okay, so let's actually erase a bunch of this. This can get erased. This can get erased. This can all just get erased. We'll clean it up after. And then up here, same thing, right? So we're gonna erase this way. Down. Yeah, okay. So let's connect these lines now. So let's move the ellipse because that's going to be in the way for now. Draw a line off of somewhere from here-ish. It goes up. I'm happy with that. And then this can be connected up here. I think that makes the most sense. If we go, there we go. And then they need to be connected down here now. So let's just keep drawing. Then let's erase all this. There we go. So that's now going into the right thing. That's going in there. And let's erase this because this is dirty. Did I draw on the wrong one? I totally did. Now I can't move this eclipse without moving all that. So we're just gonna merge and delete the eclipse. You can redraw the eclipse a lot easier. Let's merge these. Let's erase the eclipse. And let's call this audio cables, and let's draw the eclipse again. No fill, stroke, 3 pixels again. So a semicircle, there we go. So it needs to be used a couple times. So actually, let's clean up the audio here first. Let's clean up this. Uh-oh, I don't like that as much. There's a key shortcut I can't remember. Is it that changes your pointer indexing? Photoshop, brush, circle, not showing. Here we go. Press the caps lock key while using one of the brushes. Here we go. So that's all it is, caps lock. Okay. I prefer the circle. I don't know why. I just think it makes more sense for what I'm doing. Eclipse. Let's move the eclipse. Okay. So what we want then is we want to erase part of the eclipse actually first. Yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna make it a generic half circle, and we can always duplicate it if we need to. Also make it much smaller if we need to. So this will be like this, I guess. Okay, let's erase a bit of the audio cable here. And then let's erase a bit of the eclipse actually. Okay, so that one jumps over there. And that's the only one that jumps? Oh no, there's one right here that jumps. So let's duplicate this. Grab the pencil. A little thin. Let's bring it back up to size and we can always cut out less if we need to. Yeah, that looks good there. Okay, anything else that jumps? No, there's only 2 green that jump. So let's start erasing this to there and this to there. And this is going to be the annoying part, here to there and here to there. That wasn't too bad, actually. If we're not liking this eclipse, let's make it bigger again. Kind of silly, but it's gonna bother me. Not the same size, so let's erase again to where it needs to erase, and erase again to where it needs to erase. Yeah, that's better. And the audio cable, actually, this could be cleaned up a little bit. There we go. Small details like this, but it'll make a big difference for me when when I look back. Okay, then we have a mic out and a mic in. Let's call it mic out. These are both mic outs. So let's, if this will fit here, hopefully. No, of course not. So let's apply, that's fine. Mic out. And let's just duplicate that layer, actually. Because we want the same thing right here. And I don't think it's going to matter. It's not going to fit. Mic out, auxiliary out. So mic out comes down. Let's actually move the aux out to here. And then let's make a mic in input now. So mic in. And then same thing, we could just duplicate that layer. There we go, mic in. Okay, and that is the mic in cable that goes up and that goes to the mic out. Perfect. Okay, so then we are done there, I think. That's the microphone audio, and the networking audio is done. There is one that goes to like a wall, but I don't have that available to me. I guess we could do a wall outlet. Is there any good ones? No, we're not going to add that. That doesn't make any sense. Okay. And then this is a power bar. So we'll keep that somewhere around here. What's left? So we have the images. We have generic cables not done. Audio cables are done. Video cables are done. Network cables are done. Power cables are left, and generic cables. I think we should do the generic cables because power cables will be the last thing we can run them wherever. Probably less likely to look at the power cables. So let's do a generic cable. Just a black cable. Perfect. And let's start drawing. So generic cables would be something like, let's call this something like this. So this here, this stream deck just plugs into the computer like this. There we go. That's a generic cable. This has power. Generic cable will be something like my keyboard and mouse. So for example, the keyboard here and the mouse, they are both wired. So let's go to generic cables and draw again. This actually will just come down. Let's just make it look nice. And this we'll do it properly here. Okay, let's clean those up right away before we forget. There and there. Here and here. And then just clean this up. Just make it look a little nicer. These are just generic cables. Like, I'm not going to label them because they're pretty obvious what they are. This has power. That has power. I think those are the only generic cables. Oh no, there's an XLR cable that comes out of here, which will make it a little thicker. And we'll leave it the same. We'll at least plug it into the correct spot. And this will carry its power as well. So that goes into there. So that plugs into everything that we have seen so far. That's just generic. That's generic. This is generic. The headphones I said under audio, which makes sense. There is a USB power off that. That's a power cable, so it's actually going to get the power from a USB there. So we'll actually mark that in yellow. Power cable from all of these. Power cable. Oh, there's a generic cable from the camera. So it's a USB generic cable, and it plugs into this computer. So that's actually going to be a run. So which way should we go? Down here? I think that makes the most sense. Yeah, let's do that. So it's going to come over, down. Well, this could actually go pretty far down. I don't want to go behind anything. So if we go over this way, we can come down and over. Let's actually go like this. About there. And I can go there. And then these two just need to connect. That's probably the most simplest way to do it. Generic USB cable. There we go. Plugs into the computer. And let's clean up this now. This overlaps. That one's actually pretty good. These ones are bad. Cleaning this up to there and this up to there. That's decent. That's just a USB. Maybe we'll mark these ones actually. Yeah, we'll mark them all. Why not? So we'll say USB out. USB out. Maybe we can make this slightly longer. USB out can go like this. Generic cables. I'll just make it slightly longer here. There we go, just to make it look nicer. Is this part of the Canon one? No, what is that? That's part of the generic cables. Let's erase that. There we go. Okay, so then let's go back to text, USB out. They're not going to label those though. USB in, USB in. I will label USB in, that's fine. USB in. There we go, and let's duplicate that as well. Duplicate layer. Yeah, that's fine. Duplicate layer. And USB in there makes sense. Let's actually clean up that cable. Bothering me. It's slight, but it makes a difference in my mind. So USB in, let's duplicate that again, I guess. I copied the wrong one, of course, but it's fine. USB in, USB in. That's PCI to there. That's the capture card. We should probably put what the capture card is. We'll make a generic one in a second here. Okay, so then all that's left, I think, so generic cables are done, right? This needs power, this needs power. We're gonna do power cables next, I guess. Power should be pretty straightforward. That needs to go into power. Why are you in networking? No, go into power. I'll just call this power cables. And we want the yellow. Okay. Everything that has power needs to connect to this. I don't think we need to label everything too much, but let's start with probably the farthest things. You can see that, that's fine. Can we change the background to black? Will that make a difference? If we make a black background, will that look nicer? Oh, it looks fine. I don't know what that is. Again, what's this? I drew on something, but what is this? Layer 2? No, layer 1. I'm not sure what that is. Well, we're just gonna stick with a white background until I can find that out. Okay, if we come back down here to power, we need... What's up, Alex? How's it going? Busy today? Yeah. I'm doing a wiring diagram for my setup. How's work for you? Okay, power. We need to draw on the power section. Power cables here. Okay, so this computer requires power. That's the wrong color. This computer requires power. It goes this way. Okay, we're very busy. Lunch break. Nice. It's a late lunch considering how early you start. Okay, that's got power. This needs power now too. I guess we can come down, over, down. Let's connect to the side. There we go. Let's clean that up. There we go. Okay, so those have power. What else has power? All the monitors need power, so this is going to be a long run. Minecraft redstone style. This has power too. Oh, there's so many power things. I didn't know. I'll be back in a second. Just let the dog out. We'll do the power in a second here. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. Okay. Let's keep running power. So we need to go. This is power. Everything here is power. Oh man, there's so many. This is gonna have to come down. Hard to see this on the white. Let's do the power on yellow. Actually, that's gonna be too low because we need to get power from this as well. Let's do this one first. Let's go this way. Then this way. This way. This way. Let's run it into the side of this. And then we'll clean up the power here in a second. This goes this way. This can go this way. This can go this way. I want to avoid running like duplicates into things. Let's clean those up before we forget. Okay, let's go here. Am I on the right layer? Yeah, power cable's good. Let's clean this up, clean this up. Oh, except for, that's fine, whatever. And that one. Oh, that still sticks out too much. Okay, so that has power, that has power. This has power. These three have power. This one's actually, excuse me. These have power, but this has power from the switch. It's kind of weird, but it's just a USB power. So I just take it from the docking station on the switch. It has power constantly, so why is that broken? Oh, it's because we did black for that cable. Okay. So it's going to be a little harder to do then. Okay, so that has power. We gotta get the monitors down here too, and this. We're definitely gonna have some overlap, unfortunately. Can I make this like a gray, or would that look weird? Let's Let's see if we can do this. Oh, the gray looks good. We'll keep gray for now. Still gotta figure out where this is coming from, though. Is it in images? No, it's not even in images. Is it in generic cables? No. Is it in audio? No. Is it in video? No. Is it in network? No. Is it in power? No. Is it in color? Oh, it's just in this thing. That's simple enough to erase. There we go. Okay, let's go back to power cables here. Let's start drawing these again at 3. So how are we going to get all these down here? So I guess we could do the middle one first. We can just go straight down. Make sure we erase that. This can go straight down right here, I think. Okay, and then we can erase the part that's showing here. And we can't have it that big anymore because we're going to have to start erasing power. Let's start drawing again. So that's simple. Let's do this one, I guess. We can leave that there for now. This does have power as well. This has power. And we want to come down here somewhere. No, we don't want to hit that. So come this way a little bit. There we go. Power dropped. This one has power as well. Can we come straight down here? Yeah, that's not bad. Okay, this is going to be a little strange for this one. I might have to move that over. Don't really want to move that over though. Well, that one's already got power. Okay, so it's literally just everything else up here now. I think this one's going to have to go this way. I think if we come here down. No. Okay, so that one's going to be annoying. I don't want to go behind anything. I think the fan's going to have to be over here somewhere. Yeah, the fan over here makes sense. It's simple enough. Up to the fan. Right to the fan. There we go. Is there any room for that over there? No, we're going to have to jump. Oh, I hate jumping. Is there room here? Yeah, that's where that one's going to go. Okay, so we'll clean that up here before we forget. Okay, so that's cleaned up. We're going to have to jump this. We'll do that in a second. So here's everything that has power. That one has the power running straight down there. We need to run power from this now. Is there a good drop? No, we're going to go on the outside, I guess. No, we're going to have to come through the middle. I think we're just going to have to go behind this. Actually, we could have just went right into it. We might as well. This drop is going to have to be for one of these. And I guess we're going to do a second drop here. No, it's too close. Unless I just erase this line, which I could totally do. Let's just erase this line. Let's do another line up. So from... I don't mind it going between the word, but I don't want it to be... That's way too far. Let's erase this. Somewhere like here. And then we want one more drop. And we can do that one right next to this one. Somewhere like... Not too close to that. Let's split the difference. Maybe there. That could be our 3 that we need from up there. Okay, so that's got power. So then we need to run a power. Let's actually erase this because it's not going that way anymore. So the first one actually will probably just hug it close to the monitor here. Connect this to there. And how far up can we go? So this actually runs off power. No, that's not even centered. There, this can go there. And then this, I guess, will have to come down somewhere here-ish. No, that's not straight. There we go. That's not straight either. That's gonna bother me. Okay, let's fix this here. Okay, we want to continue this line and make it look as straight as possible. No, not centered. There we go. That's better. Okay, now let's just clean up these lines, then we can just connect everything at the bottom here. That's clean, that's clean, that's clean. That's clean. These ones need to be tidied up a little bit. There we go. And we need to just connect this line. Let's just try to line it up. There we go. That's power, that's power. Okay, so we got one overlapping, it looks like. We can actually just connect this as well. So let's go up somewhere here-ish and then go over and just clean this up. And let's connect all these as well. So the farthest one we should probably connect first because it's the chances of it causing an issue. So let's draw another one this way. And there's actually this one that needs to be connected. So there we go, and that one goes up all the way to the fan. This one can go, I guess we might be able to get away with one more here. Yeah, right on the corner, sure. Okay, let's eliminate that. Let's go this way until we can see the drop that we want. There we go, so we know how far to go. It's about there, and this comes, nope, that's not centered. That's good enough. Okay, is that one connected up top? It is, okay. Now this power here for this one, probably best if we come off of it in this way. That's not bad. Okay, and then these two. So these ones, this one will probably end up being higher. So let's go over here somewhere. And like this. And this one can go like right here. And like this. This just needs to come down. There we go. That's not bad. I think we've only got to do the one jump. This isn't too bad considering how many power cables need to connect at the same spot. Okay, clean that up, clean that up. There needs to be one jump, right? Oh, two jumps. Nothing we can do there. Okay, so let's draw the ellipses. Make this yellow. And then start. Why is it not? Oh no, it's fine. So we want to put this somewhere like here. Or no, let's do it for this one. Probably easier to read, eh? Okay, then erase most of this up to here. Erase this up to there. Now we need to get rid of this. To there. Yeah, that works. Let's duplicate this and take this to where we need it. There's only one more jump, right? It was up here. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, and let's erase the power cable again. Okay, should we mark any of these? No, I think power is pretty self-explanatory. I will actually move this up just ever so slightly. Just to cover that, because it was bothering me. Okay, so I think we've got most of everything that we need done here. So let's see. Let's make sure we've got everything. Video audio networking cable, generic power. So we've got the audio, everything's connected, right? This is the power, which it is. This is connected to the power, which it is. This is connected to the microphone. This is connected to the computer. This is connected to the auxiliary outs, auxiliary microphone in. They've got the jumps. They go here. There's 3 things plugged in here with the headphones out, the microphone in here, and microphone out to each computer. This is what's there. Sorry, just making sure. This needs power too. And this. And this. Oh, fuck. I completely missed a couple. This needs power. So we're still not done with the power cables. Okay. That makes things a little more complicated. Actually, this one's not bad because I can just go straight up here, straight across, and then straight down. Get nice and clean. If we go here, just... Okay, so that's got power. That runs power. And then this needs power somehow. I think this is probably the... I don't want to jump over like 4 different things. I think I can get away with another one right here. Okay, we can probably get away with one more here. Okay, that wasn't as bad as I thought it would be after what just happened. We're getting these. There we go, so that's got power too. They have power. These don't need power, they run off computer power. So let's just do power. Power, 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 power. This monitor has a power out. I think we should label them, eh? Power out. No, I think power is pretty self-explanatory. This is power, this is power. These are PCI in here. They don't need power. That's just a USB in. This is USB into here. I do have a hard drive that has power, but not in the diagram. SDI out. That requires power. This has power. That just takes power from there. That's not bad. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting somewhere. I think we're almost done. I think what we should do is maybe add a second section for things that weren't in the original. So let's see. Yeah, we use that. That's fine. We can just delete that. This is the headphones that we've already used. So some things that are not in here that maybe we should add somewhere. No, I like the gray. I think the gray makes everything a little easier to read. Maybe just a little bit lighter gray would make sense. No, actually, I like the darker gray more. Okay, we'll leave it there. Leave it there. That makes a lot of sense. And then what we can do below is put the actual setup maybe. So let's go canvas size. Okay, should I get the dog? Give me 2 seconds. Okay, so let's just make the canvas size a bit bigger. Actually, no, let's save this file. I also haven't saved it all, so probably would have been better to save. I'll just call it wiring. Make it easy. And then can I save this as a JPEG or something? How big is it going to be? Probably too big. Okay, that's actually not horrible. I thought that would be much worse. How easy is it to read, though? It's not horrible. Okay, so I think that's everything on this. Let's add a little bit more to it. Let's go canvas size. Let's just crop it out. Okay. There we go. Let's save that. Excuse me. Cancel. Don't quit. What are you quitting for? Let's group all of this together and call it top half. Now, okay. And then what we want to do now is we want to do the bottom half. So we want a new layer. Should I make this like a white layer? Go back to generics, white. There we go. And then what we want to do is start putting some images of stuff that is not necessarily part of the wiring diagram. So everything here has a wire. So stuff that would be. So let's pictures of setup. So let's actually take this. I think that makes sense to show here, right? Have it here somewhere. And we'll put the PC specs here. Streaming computer 1, streaming computer 2. And then we'll put some more generic stuff down here. So what else wasn't used? So here's the chair. Cable clamp, stuff that, you know, you can make some notes of it. There's the standing desk. Here's the cable clamps that you need for to get all your wires together. Here's your Velcro. There's the mouse pad. It doesn't really matter. What else is missing? Oh, the Manfrotto arm. Actually, I already have that one in images, don't I? Oh, the LP arm. Let's take that down here. Okay, so LP arm. And we need the... Let's move that out of the way, actually. No, we need the Manfrotto arm here as well. Where did it go? No, I want to move this down here, I guess. So what we'll do maybe is we'll put a little section here below. No, we don't want top half. We want to close all that. I want to close this. I want to close top half. I want to save that there, I guess. Sure. The chair. Oh, I don't want that. I want the LP arm. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to put all these extra things in here. We could actually just remove the arm and get rid of that. We can get rid of this. You can because you can see it all from this image. You can see there's an arm there. You can see this is clipped on there. You can't see the only thing you can't see is the chair. Let's get rid of the mouse pad. Close that. These little Velcro straps. Velcro cable ties can go. This clip can go. Just delete it actually. This is, let's do this one first. Small rig clamps, and this one is sit stand base. Let's get that to the point where it makes sense. And this is the racing chair. Flip horizontally. go. That looks fine. Let's crop it down. I think it makes more sense to show. Does that make sense? The sit stand desk I think is really cool, but I don't think it's too important to show off. Unless we make it a GIF, I don't think I can use GIFs in here. Is there anything else we want to show off? The arm. We want to label everything. Maybe we should do a generic label. We could do a new layer, put it on top of everything. Call it like labels. Yeah, so let's label everything. Oh no, let's make a new group and call it labels, or else we're gonna get a bunch of. Let's go text. Is black better? What looks better here? Yeah, black looks a little better. What kind of sound card was it again? It was a... I have no idea. I have the link though, so let's find out. Let's see. It is this one here. What sound card is it? It is Creative Sound Blaster sound card. So I got 2 of these, so let's... Oh, what happened there? Oh, I want this one. Okay, so let's change that text then. Create a Sound Blaster. That makes sense. Yeah, I'm good with labeling that like that. And then let's duplicate this and bring it over here. That's this thing. And I don't think we need to label much more. Oh, this is the... Is it? What is this one? This is called the Blackmagic Decklink Duo. Yeah. So make sure it's the correct name, Blackmagic Decklink Duo. We've only got one of those. We don't need to label the case. We could label this here. We could call this a HDMI split. The 2 T's or 1 T? Splitter, not 2 T's, okay. HDMI to, and then let's label this as HDMI to SDI. Let me actually duplicate that. HDMI to SDI, that's fine there, yep. Let's call this a network switch. If I could spell network properly, there we go. That's a network switch. This is a Nintendo Switch, or what's Stream Deck? Stream Deck Mini. And this is a Nintendo Switch. Let's say Super Nintendo. Is that what they're called, I think? Super. Yeah, that's really what they're called. That's SNES Classic Edition. Super SNES. We'll call it a Super Nintendo here, it's fine. Okay, this one's going to be hard. It's a MOUP 4 stereo. 4 or 6. Monkey 4 stereo mini audio mixer. Let's see if that fits. This should fit probably here. Mookie, this one, I have a 6 one. Let's just put a 6 to make sure it's correct. 6. I'll just call it a mini audio mixer. No, I'll just call it an audio mixer. Line mixer? I think that's what excuse me. I think it's a line mixer. What's the generic term for it? Yeah, it's just line mixer. It's the first thing that comes up. So we'll call it a line mixer. This is an Asus VG278, I believe. Here. VG278. This is a NQ GL2460, which is the same as the other one here. So let's just copy it. And this one is a BenQ GL2450, so just the model below. It just doesn't have an HDMI or speakers, but very similar, very similar. This is a Honeywell fan. Let's put that right there. This here is a Canon 60D with a 10 to 22 millimeter lens. This is a newer LED ring light, I believe. Is that how you spell it? 2 E's at the beginning. This would probably fit inside. Yeah. I don't know what brand that one is. Let's see if we can find out. I think I have it saved here. Small rig, big ring light, small ring light. Let's see what this is. Probably just some generic brand. Oh, it's a newer one too. Newer 6-inch USB ring light. So we're not going to call it. Just a small USB ring light. We'll keep that there. Well, actually, it looks better there. How big is that one then? Definitely much bigger. So that's a BenQ. We don't have any room for the PC specs. I know it's going to be a question, so let's move some stuff around. Let's keep labeling. Let's keep labeling. This is a. I don't even remember what this is called. I know this is a. Unspelled. Yep. This is a Xena 502. Who makes it? Oh, Ring, right? Okay. So if we could fit that in there, that'd be great. It's better there, so we'll stick it there. This is a Logitech G502. Again, let's spell it right. Logitech G502. And this is just a Red Dragon 5. The 2 Gs on Red Dragon? What do they do again? Red Dragon K552, I think. They just do 1 D. That looks weird. Red Dragon K552. keyboard, and it's a Fantech P400S, I believe is what it's called. We have this. That makes sense. And then I don't know what this case is called. I couldn't find it when I was looking last night, but it's just a thermal take. So we'll just call it a thermal take case. Create Blackmagic Duo. Create a sound blast. Just call this power bar, whatever. It's just a power bar. I don't have a specific brand that I think I bought. I think I just got the one that would work. Nintendo Switch, Super Nintendo, Stream Deck, Asus VG, BenQ GL2460, 2450, newer LED ring light, USB, manual fan. Yeah, I think I got most of the stuff labeled. Where did the Fantech? Oh, it got moved. Okay, so we'll put that back there. There we go. Network switch. I don't know what brand I have. It's just a generic network switch that I had for years. RJ45. We should just run that out. Yeah, let's run that out. It'll look nicer. It is under network cables. So let's draw another cable here. Terminates off the screen. That's fine. And then we want to grab the color. That's not even lined up. I didn't think I was going to keep that, but I guess we're keeping it. Yeah, we'll just duo. RJ45 wall plate. Something that's simple, easy to stick in the thing. Yeah, no. Okay, we'll just take care of that. We'll get rid of it. It looks fine the way it is. Everyone knows it plugs into something else. It's got power. What else we got here? Okay, so we need somewhere to put the PC specs. So maybe right here. Let's actually label these one more time. So this is called streaming. Oh, definitely want that to be black and white. Streaming PC. I don't even know where that got stuck up there. Whatever. Okay, and this is the gaming computer. So I have to find a spot for this. And gaming PC. Yeah, that's fine there. No, I like it down here more. Yeah, we can move streaming computer probably to match. There we go. And let's do specs. Can I move the power bar up? No, we're not going to move the power bar up. I think it makes more sense. Streaming PC specs. So I had written them down from yesterday. Let's grab them here. That's the gaming computer. Can I just copy this as one? On. Does it work? It does. Wow. And then we probably want to make this a little different here. For the streaming computer, we probably want to make this like white or something just to make it stand out a little bit. So it's an i7 38 3.6, 4 gig thermal take case. Yeah, we don't need a case. It says it right there. So let's 16 gigs of RAM DDR3. Nothing special, just SSD. I don't think the SSD matters. 128 gigabyte. I think it's just a 128 gigabyte SSD. I think that's yeah, I'll put that. That's fine. And then let's duplicate this layer and call this gaming PC specs. So then we want to copy this. So it is an Intel i7 7700K. I think the I should be lowercase on these, except for it doesn't let you on this. Fantex P400 doesn't matter. And I think this is a 1 terabyte M.2 plus. What else do I have in there? I got a bunch of other drives, so we'll just call it that. Main drive plus other drives. That's the only drive in this one. Plus HDD. I think this is the same way, actually. Is it HDD or HHD? HDD. Hard disk drive, that makes sense. Okay, so that's that. That's that. We obviously got to add one last thing. Make that a little bigger just so when I post it, it's easy to see. Okay, I like that there. Let's put this in one more place. Duplicate the layer. Too easy to remove there. There we go. So let's save this as file save as. Let's call this line diagram. Save as. Let's save it as a JPEG. Oh wait, I gotta add one thing here. We need to add the chair. It is a AK Racing Arctic gaming chair, I think. What's the exact? Arctica. Let's add something here that says this. That's fine. And then the desk and stuff, I guess we could. Let's actually do that because I know it's going to get asked. Let's bring this up here a little bit. At the very bottom, we will say IKEA countertop with prime cables sit stand legs. What's the IKEA top again? IKEA Calico top, I think. IKEA Carlby. Now let's do one more thing. Desk. I can spell it right. That would be nice. And I guess we could put something like this on the front. This 1, 2, 3. That's fine. That's not bad. That works well. Okay, so if we save this, so it doesn't show how it's all mounted, but they can get an idea. Like once you look at the image down here, you can see like, okay, this is mounted here. This is mounted to this. I guess we could label some things here too. We'll call this a small rig clamp and bring this size way down. Make it like 10. Probably right there like that. That works. Then let's actually duplicate that. This is the same thing here. That goes there. This is an Elgato LP arm. Elgato LP arm. That in white actually would be good. We just put it on the arm itself. Manfrotto 240, I think it's called. What is it? It's Manfrotto 244 friction arm. Yeah, that's what that is. And let's make it black again. Let's make it a little bigger. Actually, we could do something like this for all of these. Yeah, let's do something like that. Makes more sense. No, I don't know. I kind of like that. Can we change this? Yeah, apply, that's fine. I want to see if I can just call it arm. Yeah, that makes more sense. Small rig clamp, and this is a Vivo, what is this again? Vivo 6 monitor stand. Is that what it is? 6 monitor. Yeah, it's a Vivo 6 monitor stand. The switch, we don't care about the legs. The desk we've got right here. We got an LP arm. We have the Sherm System B labeled. We got everything. The ring light, small clamp, rig clamp, small rig clamp. I think that's everything. I think that's going to be everything for the hardware side of things. We want to save this as a JPEG again. Let's resave it as the correct one. Save as wiring diagram. Okay, I think that makes sense. Let's go through it one more time here. So yeah, the camera on my side of the screen. We've got the ring light, which is a newer ring light, which runs power. We've got this, which just runs power, this big ring light. We've got the Canon 60D 10 to 22 millimeter lens, inverted. That's why it's inverted there. It does have a USB out, and it runs to power. This is a BenQ 2450 that's currently running to DVI in. Yep, to power. This one has an in and a power. This one has an HDMI in and a display port in, so I can just switch depending what I'm doing. It has an auxiliary out. It has power. This has this DVI in and power. And that has power on my desk. Okay, so we've got the Nintendo Switch that runs a shared HDMI out to the HDMI splitter, and then HDMI out to HDMI in. Oh, we actually should put an HDMI in there. Let's go video cables, HDMI, whatever. Let's just click here. No, let's just copy an HDMI out. We can change it quickly. Duplicate layer, HDMI in, copy 75, because it doesn't matter. Which one do we copy? There we go. That's easy enough. This should say HDMI in. So let's HDMI in. There we go. That looks better. Okay, HDMI in, HDMI out to the monitor, which we all know. HDMI out to the splitter, not the splitter, to the HDMI in, SDI out, the converter. And then that goes down here to the SDI in capture card, which is in the computer. I assume by these being here, you assume it's in this computer, just like this is assumed it's in that computer, right? I didn't put the graphics card. These are more specialized. And then we have the auxiliary out, mic in. Auxiliary out goes to the headphones. The mic in comes from the mixer, Shure SM7B. And then the network switches work. This is HDMI, SDI out. That's power. Auxiliary out, auxiliary in. And then what do we got here? Red Dragon K52, Logitech G502. Didn't label those. These are SteelSeries. What were they? SteelSeries Arctic 3 or something? Arctic 7? The 3 or the 5? Or the 5 are the wireless wired ones? I think they're the 3. Yeah, they're Arctic 3s. So let's go back down to not here. Anyways, let's just go text. That's all it was just behind something there. Why it did that, I have no idea, but we'll stick that there. Yeah, headphone out, that's just generically plugged into there, so it's fine. USB in, RJ45 DVI out, DisplayPort HDMI out, HDMI in. Fantex case, gaming PC, auxiliary out, mic in. There's the sound, there's the computer specs. This is what it looks like, and these are the things that I didn't really put on the wiring diagram because they are not needed. So this is a small rig clamp, This is the Vivo 6 monitor stand. This is a Manfrotto 240 arm. Elgato LP arm. The rest of the stuff is all labeled. Up top, the IKEA Carlby countertop. Make sure I spelled that right. Carlby, yeah. Countertop with prime cable sit stand legs. Yeah. External hard drive I didn't label, but I don't have it in the wiring diagram because it's just plugged into the computer. It's not really part of the stream. It's more for my personal storage. Other than that, I think we've got a good setting here. So let's again save as. Let's override that JPEG there. Yeah, that's fine. And then save as. And let's just save it as the Photoshop file as well. Okay, perfect. So we got the hardware side of things done. We can do a quick software side of things. I'll just give you an update now. I didn't prepare. I didn't think that I would be this fast. I thought it'd take me a little longer with the hardware side of things. Took me a lot longer to do it in person, I'll tell you that much, compared to just doing it on the computer, but I guess it's already done, so I'm just copying information onto the computer screen. So for the software side of things, on the streaming computer, I am running Streamlabs OBS. And then what I have set up, so as you can tell, sometimes you can hear the music, and let's get the music here, I'll show you. I don't have it set up so you can see the screen though, so. Why is it not playing? Let's just shuffle. There we go. So you can hear it very faintly there, just in the background, which is the way it's set up. And then I need to do a whole setup just to show you the software side of things, essentially. Maybe I'll add it to the video that we do from this. But essentially, I have all the different auxiliary inputs labeled differently in Streamlabs. So on my music, it's coming out via one auxiliary output, and then I'm capturing it in Streamlabs. On the Discord, it's capturing in a separate audio channel, so it's not just a generic channel. The auxiliary from the game is capturing separately, the microphone's capturing separately. One thing I can show you quickly is, oh no, don't do that. What happened there? Oh, I just lost everything. Oh, no, it's all back. Okay, cool. One thing you can do pretty easily. So one thing I can show you pretty easily is on here, I run this Elgato sound capture software. What it allows is that you can have the audio go over the Blackmagic device as well as the headset at the same time. So all of my audio is split between my headphones and the streaming computer. And what that allows is for me to capture the audio while also wearing headphones, because otherwise you'd have to carry it over all the different audio devices. Or otherwise you wouldn't be able to wear headphones, you'd have to carry it over the same HDMI signal that's capturing and play with monitor sounds. So this just runs on startup. And then one thing as well that I run is this here. So this is my streaming computer and my tower, my gaming computer. And then as long as they're on the same network, you can jump back and forth between them. So I use one keyboard, one mouse, and I jump back and forth between one computer and the other computer, and it prevents me from having to have two keyboards and two mouses on the same setup. I have it set up where it's a keybind, so it just jumps back and forth, but you can set it up so that you can just drag your thing across from one monitor to the other. So it's interesting in that sense. What else do we have here that I can show you? In my own Discord on my computer, so on the streaming computer's Discord, I changed the audio output to default to these headphones, so that way it doesn't duplicate over onto the Discord audio that I'm capturing. So I'm actually capturing Discord audio in my headphones when I'm on Discord here, and then as you can see, I have two setups. So this is me on my gaming computer, and this is my streaming computer. And the reason I have it that way is so that way when I record the Discord audio, it's separate from the gameplay audio and separate from my mic audio. So if I want to get clean gameplay, I can render that out later. It also allows me to do things like I can have audio cues for myself when someone joins Discord, but I don't have it in my streaming computer. So my streaming computer settings are different. So that way when someone joins or leaves, it doesn't always pop up for them. So unless they start talking, it doesn't make a big deal out of someone joining or leaving, right? So here's the setup here. We'll post another photo. So we want to post this one here. I think that makes sense. So we'll pin this one now. We'll delete the other one. There we go. So that's the new setup. So if you ever had any questions about what the setup looks like or anything like that, feel free to check out the Discord. You can take a look at this whole diagram I just drew for you. You can take a look at the actual image, the chair, everything is labeled there. And then what I'll do as well is I'm going to link this file here It has all the links to all the Amazon products that I have in my setup, as well as any of the specs for the computer, the cases, stuff like that. So I'll make sure all that's down in the description for this video after I'm done here. And when I make the video, we'll go from there. Anyways, that's it for me today, guys. It's been awesome. Thanks everyone who jumped in, who watched, who was chatting. We're gonna try to edit this tomorrow and play some games tomorrow, and then we'll go through and keep making some more content and keep making some live streams. It's been super fun. So thanks everyone. Bye.